I got a pop quiz for you this week. What is every American patriot's favorite verse in all of the Torah? Ukarasem dor ba'aretz lechol yoshveha. And you shall proclaim liberty, proclaim freedom throughout the entire land for all of its inhabitants. The thing is, when we look in the Pasuk, and it's talking about the context of Yovel, the 50th Jubilee year, the freedom there is not for everybody. It talks about the servant who, after his years of indentured servitude, he gets to go back to freedom. And it also talks about ancestral plots of land, that if I had to sell it when I was in tough times, I get my plot of land back. But aside from these two very limited instances, there isn't much of a huge overarching concept of freedom, of liberty for all of the inhabitants of the land. L'chol yoshveha. So if it's only limited to two small categories of people, where's the liberty for everybody else? What is this grandiose idea of liberty, of freedom, that's being declared for all of the inhabitants of the land of Israel? So Moshe Kurtz says, there is freedom for everybody. But we have to understand what kind of freedom we're discussing here. He writes, Baram lekushta de milsa, in truth, Nosna mitzvos hayovel lechol adam Yisrael. This mitzvah of Yovel was given to each and every Jewish person residing in the land of Israel. Ulakulam nikra Dvar. Everyone gets to partake in this liberty. When we take a step back and we understand that all of our assets, all of our property, everything that we own is a gift from God. And I am not even a master over others. These servants who worked in my house for a certain amount of time, they go to freedom eventually. I'm not a master over anything. I shouldn't fool myself into thinking that. At best, what am I? I'm a caretaker. I'm a caretaker that God's appointed me. If He's blessed me with wealth, if He's blessed me with my own assets, then at best I'm a caretaker. I'm an apotropos that Hashem has appointed me over certain property in this world. And when I realize that, Yargish avusoso vehevel kinyanav, I realize how vain it is to constantly trying to collect wealth, to be like small, like a dragon on top of a mountain of gold. What's the point of it? What's the point of collecting all of this? This is the true freedom. This is the true liberty that God is granting us. That we become free from the shackles of the Yetzer, from the shackles of our lust for wealth and our desires that drive us to just accumulate more and more and more, but with no purpose. And that's what it means when Chazal, when our rabbis tell us, the only true person who can honestly, genuinely declare that they are free and that they have liberty is a person who studies God's Torah. Because through the study of God's Torah, we recognize what is the true acquisition that I want to make in this world? The only true things that we take with us into the world to come are not the houses we have, are not the country club memberships that we have, not the wealth that we've amassed or the gold that we've stored, but it's what we accomplish with it in this world. If our goal is just to amass wealth and to amass our own pleasure and desires and fulfill things for ourselves in this world, that's not true freedom. Then we're shackled to that. But true freedom and liberty is recognizing the purpose of my wealth, that I'm a caretaker, I'm an apotropos for Hashem in this world, and using it to help others, using it for Torah religious causes, and for making a better world. That is how we truly accomplish real freedom and real liberty, l'chol yoshveha, for each and every inhabitant of our land, of our nation, and of the world. Shabbos.